and then just say
what it is,
what day it is today, and what date you think this picture was taken, and
who I am,
just kind of talk about
who I am.
if you want. You're on.
This is Louis Simon again. What's today's date? Today is August the 1st, 2010. And I have here a picture taken at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary celebration. They were married in 1916, so this was in 1966. It has all 12 children, my mother and father and all 12 children, and it's arranged in by age of the child from left to right, increasing age. I'm on the top left. I'm one of the few with glasses. I see 3 or 4 have glasses, but anyway. Next to me is my brother Frank, otherwise known as Anthony. The nickname is Frank. Next to him is Adam Louis Simon, otherwise known as Cliff. To the right of Cliff and in the back row also is my brother Rudolph Simon. Next to him is Albert Simon, the second oldest in the family, and the oldest in the family of the men on the far right is Harold Simon. My sister to the left in the second row is Jean Misano. Next to her, Anna Mae Ritter, Evelyn Crawley, Marcella Gupser, Ruth Kramer, and Alvina, nicknamed Sis, Stefan. And at the present time, there's only 4 of us, 4 people from this picture that are living. Myself, I think, Frank, Ruth, and Anna Mae. And I had just moved into a new home at this time in 1966, or right around this time, give or take a year. Also, my second oldest son was born in this year, Michael Simon.
Close.
At least he was brought home to the new house in Edgewood, Kentucky when he was born. All the other kids were brought to different homes.
And what were the age difference between most of the siblings?
I think the difference between myself and my oldest brother is in the 20-some years. So my mother was 43 when I was born, and that computes, if you subtract 20 from that, you get 23, and I think that's about when she was married. They started off having kids right away to find some workers for the farm work.
And do you remember where that picture was taken?
This picture was taken at a restaurant in Alexandria, which was operated by my oldest brother Harold at the time. He was in the business of restaurants and bars and restaurants throughout Campbell County, in probably 4 different places. The most recent he had, which is still standing, was Simon's Tavern in Highland Heights, Kentucky on Route 27. He also ran the Colonial Inn for about a year. That's next to the Guys and Dolls in Cold Spring, Kentucky. And he had several other restaurants and 1 grocery store.
Did you help at all at any of his restaurants?
No, I just drank the beer.
And you say this is 50th anniversary, and your dad, when did he pass away?
I believe my dad died about a year later from this. He was not in good health at this time even. Next.
Yep. Let's just, instead of stopping, we'll just pull a picture out, and I'll try to...
We'll go to
let me hold it up at
it's
the
easier
camera
to add it out, huh?
right, you can talk about that picture.
This is the family homestead. It was located in Cold Spring, Kentucky. St. Joseph Church now stands on the property. This house was raised or lowered, however you want to put it. And the church and school, St. Joseph's Church and School constructed. It's still there.
Is it in the exact spot of that house, the church?
The exact spot. The church is in the exact spot of this house. This sits back from the highway, I'd say 150 feet. It's a very elegant house and yard. I used to cut the grass, quite a bit of grass. Sometimes I had a lawnmower that was not a power mower. It was quite a bit of work. There were entrances, of course, around the back and additional rooms other than what you see on this picture in the back of the house. Notice the two chimneys on the top, right and left. Apparently when this house was built in the beginning, they had fireplaces in 4 rooms on the sides of the houses, and those chimneys served those fireplaces. That's before they had heating. By the time I was born and brought into this house, they had a furnace, a coal furnace with a stoker, an automatic feed of coal pellets into the furnace. Very advanced for the time. Electricity was added and plumbing to the house.
When was the house built?
Don't know that.
Were your parents the original occupants?
My father's father was the original occupant of the house. My father bought the property from his dad, I think for $10,000. It included 20 acres of land, which today would be worth millions.
How, so your father bought it from his father. Did your father have other siblings?
Yes, and my father had other brothers and sisters.
And did you know them?
And I knew some of them slightly. I remember going to the funeral of one that was named Lewis. Caught my attention. He had the same name as myself. They knew me as a child. I didn't know them very well. But some of the cousins are still alive from those families.
Which one was your bedroom? Can you see it from there?
The window on the right was my parents' bedroom. The window on the left on the first floor was mine, divided into 2 rooms. Mine and my sister had a bedroom there. Upstairs, multiple families lived in this house. My sister Anna Mae and her husband lived upstairs. They had a full apartment. My sister Marcella, her husband, and 4 children lived downstairs in the back. Money was tight in these days, and after they got married, they didn't necessarily have jobs or money to pay the rent in apartments, so they got by with, they still paid rent to my parents, a small amount to help out with the expenses. So there was always a lot of kids around the house when I was growing up, littler kids than myself.
How many beds and baths would you got?
I think there was only 1 bathroom in this house, and there was a second bathroom was added to the 2nd floor, but on the 1st floor 1 bed, so that was shared by 2 families. We didn't take showers and baths every day. We alternated maybe once a week.
And when you say that bedroom was divided, was it a real wall?
No, a temporary wall. Temporary.
So how many people at one time do you think lived in that house?
Probably 15. You go back to the older kids.
But your parents had their own room, no matter what.
Always had their own room. Right.
And you had to share rooms with who?
Well, I shared a bed actually with my brothers in one room, I remember. 3 of us slept in 1 bed. My older brother, Albert, when they come back from the service, I think I had to share beds at that time.
And when did that house get knocked down then?
in the late 1950s. It was torn down. If you could look closely, this house shows shingles on the covering. I'm not sure what they're made out of. The hard substance shingle about a 1/4 inch thick, but originally the house was built a frame house. Underneath that is white frame boards going all the way around.
So you lived in that house until, where were you when it was knocked down?
I was, at the time this house was torn down, I was attending college at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. And when I come back home for the summers, I moved into the new house, which was across the street, much smaller house, across Highway 27. It still stands today. It was bought by an architect and remodeled.
Do you know what the reason was for knocking the house down?
To build the church.
Okay, that was the main reason.
That was it. I'll take all those and separate them.
Oh, okay. Who was on the porch in that other picture?
The picture of the house shows 3 people sitting on the front porch. The youngest one is myself and 2 of my sisters. I think Anna Mae and Evelyn, but I'm not certain. It would have to be blown up.
Which siblings were you closest to?
I was closest to my sister Jean. And next, my brother Frank. My sister Jean died about 10 years ago.
So what's that picture you're holding now?
Oh, this picture here that shows the backyard of that house, that property. During the winter, obviously, there's snow on the ground. I don't know why we're riding scooters. I'm the tallest one. On the left is a young boy, that's Ronnie Steffen. And between us is his sister, Jane Steffen. This was taken around 1948. I estimated I was 10 years old there. Got a fancy scooter with white wall tires.
Do you remember when you got it?
Yeah.
What for?
Don't know. I received it as a gift for perhaps Christmas, since there's snow on the ground and it looks new. But a gift for something.
What's that a picture of?
This is a picture of, it shows the front of the house that I've just shown before, and it shows the front door of the house looking, a kitchen was added to this house. Now that's not the front door, I don't know what that is. But in any case, this is my nephew, Joe Simon. He is the son of my oldest brother, Harold Simon. Taken around 1949, I estimated.
So what's Joe doing now?
Joe is deceased. He moved to Florida and died a couple years ago.
Now, did you play with him when you were a kid, I guess?
We were very good friends because we were about the same age. We used to raid the chicken house, and I liked to throw rocks at the 30 or 40 chickens together, and they would put up quite a ruckus. And then my mother would come out and want to punish us for disturbing the chickens, and I generally said that Joe did it. And Joe would then get punished somehow.
And did you go to grade school together?
No, we did not go to grade school together. He went to St. Teresa School in Southgate, Kentucky. I went to St. Joseph's School in Cold Spring.
Why would you go to different schools?
He lived in Southgate on North Street. Used to spend days with him overnights in the summertime.
In Southgate.
Southgate kissed the first girl down there on his front porch. We were playing spin the bottle. And she wasn't too happy with it.
Why?
Well, I guess I wasn't a good kisser. Or it was more embarrassment, perhaps.
Oh, she wasn't too happy with it.
She wasn't too happy. I was happy with it. She was too embarrassed because in front of everybody. On better times, she still liked me in any case. On better times,
Wait, you still know her?
No. That's where I learned how to play Monopoly. We'd sit around and play Monopoly for hours on end there.
And that was during your grade school?
Grade school age.
Okay, we got 3 pictures here. I'll let you talk about any of them, all of them.
This picture of the officer, I don't think it's an officer. I don't see that he's wearing a gun. I think he was a guard at Wright's. That was a now General Electric plant in Evendale where they built airplanes and airplane engines for the war. I think he was a guard there. Security. My brother Harold.
Oh, that's your brother Harold.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was a guard for how long?
Don't know. I don't know how long.
Was he the restaurant guy too?
Yes.
So how did he get from restaurant to being a guard?
He had a lot of different jobs. Nothing was steady.
And how long ago did he pass away?
He died when he was 55 years old, and he was born in 1923, so do the math. This is a picture of my brother, Adam Simon. I don't know. He's pretty muscular, as you can see. He was fought in World War II, Iwo Jima, and several other major battles. He also worked for I think it was called the 3C. This was a conservation corps where they were trying to provide jobs after the Depression in the 35, say, before I was around even. Several of my brothers went away to work camps. Helped out the budget at home, and they helped them go strong. I don't know what car that is. It's a 39 Chev or a 40, could be a 46, I'm not sure. That would take a car bug to pin that down. I think 39 Chev, because that car was sold to my sister, Ruth Kramer. She told me about that recently. That was their first car, I think.
Now, did you hang out with Cliff at all growing up?
No. He's much older than myself.
But he's the third youngest boy.
Yes. He's still 15 years older than myself. This is my sister Jean Nasano. I was just showing off. You can see she's not that much older than me. Maybe 5 or 6 years.
Where'd she go to school?
She graduated from Notre Dame Academy in Covington. Was located in Covington, Kentucky at the time. About half the girls graduated from high school. I think the older ones did not. I know for sure that Alvina Stephan did not graduate from high school. She achieved her GED when she was 16.
And so you were the youngest boy, and then how many girls before the next boy?
There was Jean, certainly, and Anna Mae, and then Frank.
So did they...
the order at the bottom.
Did they spoil you as a little boy?
No, they were too busy out doing work. But I remember whenever the older girls would go out on a date, they would bring back a candy bar for me. So they did take care of me some.
And about how much older were they than you?
Anywhere from 6 years to 18 years older.
All right. Anything else?
Not at the moment. Is that all the pictures?
That's all.